Hi everybody, I'm back today with another ASMR video. So, I haven't done a bedtime story in a while, so I thought that I would do one today. I don't have gum today, but I actually am really thirsty because I just got home from work. So I have a soda. It's a diet root beer. It's my current obsession. It's so good. With aged vanilla. I know this isn't Disney, but so I know that some people like liquid noises and drinking noises as a trigger. So I'm just gonna be doing that today while I read, just because I am really thirsty. So hopefully this isn't too loud. Okay, so in the storybook, I'm going to jump to where I left off. I still think Mickey is super cute here with his roasting his little marshmallow. It reminds me of Fort Wilderness though, and then it makes me miss Disney World, and then that makes me a little sad. But luckily, I only live driving distance away from the parks, so if I were to go, I wouldn't have to quarantine like some people from some of the rest of other areas in the country do. It's just a matter of finding a time when I'm able to go. So I'm hoping I'll get to go at the end of November, depending on what case numbers are like. Anyway, so let's get to today's story. So the last one that we read was The Spooky Sleepover with Mike and Sully from Monsters, Inc. So the next one says Big Hero 6, Nighttime of Fires. So that's next. Okay, so the picture, Nighttime of Fires, it's got Baymax and Hiro and a fire that looks like it's some sort of drone is starting a fire. Maybe that's the bad guy. Maybe they're fighting him. I don't know. We'll find out. So it was late at night, but Hiro Hamada was wide awake. He was working in his lab at the San Francisco Institute of Technology. Hiro hunched over his computer. He was trying to solve a problem, but nothing was working. Frustrated, he leaned back in his chair. The chair tipped over, throwing Hiro to the ground. "Ouch!" he cried. Baymax, Hiro's personal healthcare companion, stepped forward. Baymax was a robot built by Hiro's older brother Tadashi. I miss Tadashi. He was my favorite. I don't know, I feel like it's okay to have spoilers because it's been out for a while, but I miss Tadashi. It was Baymax's job to help people when they were injured. "I was alerted to your need for help when you said ouch," Baymax said. "On a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate your pain?" "I'm fine," Baymax, Hiro said quickly, getting up. Baymax scanned Hiro from top to bottom. "Your energy levels are low. You appear to need rest. Sleep is essential for good health and for mental acuity." Without another word, Baymax turned and left the lab. When he came back, he was holding a glass of warm milk. "The average 14-year-old needs approximately 9.2 hours of sleep each night," he said, pointing to a sleep chart that had appeared on the display on his stomach. Baymax held out the glass of milk. Milk contains enzymes that aid in relaxation and help patients fall asleep. So we've got Hiro getting all frustrated, and then Baymax over here with the glass of warm milk. He looks like a cute little butler. Hiro rubbed his eyes. I can't sleep, Baymax. I need to finish this. It's important. Hiro was building a high-tech firefighting device. It would scan the city for the first signs of fire and shoot a stream of chemicals at the flame to put it out. The chemical mixture would also prevent another fire from starting. I don't want anyone else to. Hiro stopped short, thinking about his brother. Tadashi had died in a fire. They look so sad. Or at least Hiro does, and then Baymax is just there. If you finish the project, will it help you sleep? Baymax asked. Yes, Hiro said, but I can't seem to get it right. Watch. Hiro sat back down at his computer and pressed some buttons. In a special testing chamber in the corner of his lab, a few pieces of paper in a trash can began to smoke. Hiro typed more instructions. His firefighting device lifted into the air, but by the time it reached the papers, the smoke had turned into a full-blown fire. See, Hiro said to Baymax, it's way too slow. And there they are, watching the experiment. The device sprayed a green liquid at the can. The fire sputtered out, but a horrible odor filled the air. The container was melting. Plus, the spray is so strong it ruins everything it touches, Hiro said. He entered the testing chamber to examine the damage and accidentally stepped in the melted plastic. Ouch, hot, Hiro cried, hopping on one foot. Baymax scanned Hiro again. Your neural indicators show extreme agitation. You will not be able to sleep in this state. I love how Baymax is like so oblivious to everything else that's going on, and then he's just like, you seem to be upset. It's like, you think? He's so cute though. Hiro picked up his device and examined it closely. What could make it move faster? What would fix the spray? Just then, the door to Hiro's lab burst open and his friends walked in. Gogo, Wasabi, and Honey Lemon were also students at San Francisco Institute of Technology. They had been hard at work in their labs too. Their friend Fred had been hanging out with them. Along with Hiro and Baymax, they formed the superhero group Big Hero 6. Hey man, Fred said, looks like you could use some help. Hiro shook his head. No one helped Tadashi build Baymax. No offense, guys, I just want to do this alone. Besides, you have your own projects to think about. Hiro held open the door to his lab and waited for his friends to leave. Then he shut the door behind them and locked it. Your stress level has increased, Baymax told Hiro. Perhaps you would like that glass of milk. Not now, Baymax, Hiro said. He had work to do. So here he is, trying to figure it out, and there's all his friends. And then he's telling them to leave, and then Baymax over here like, but your milk. Hiro mixed chemicals together and worked up a new model. Then he placed the device back in the testing chamber. In the chamber, a piece of wood began to glow red hot. The new device tracked the smoke and sprayed the burning ember. With a hiss, the fire went out. Not bad, Hiro said. Suddenly, the wood burst into flames. Hiro pressed a button. Water poured down, putting the fire out. Outside the lab, Hiro's friends watched as he tried dozens of different devices and chemical combinations. Finally, Baymax stepped in front of Hiro. Studies show that brainstorming with friends is useful when solving problems, he said. Hiro looked at his friends. You're right, Baymax, let them in. So we've got Hiro working on his lab, and then we have his friends watching outside, and Baymax is like, they can help you. Baymax opened the door, and Gogo, Honey, Fred, and Wasabi fell into the room in a jumbled heap. Fred popped up first. He put his arm around Hiro. "We were Tadashi's friends too," he said. "We want to help." Looking at Fred's lopsided grin, Hiro couldn't help smiling back. "The rest of the guys have some great ideas," Fred continued. "Take a look at some of the stuff they've come up with." Gogo flung a silvery disc, which whirled quickly around the room. "Try changing the shape of your device," she suggested. "Something like this could really move through the flames." Wasabi nodded in agreement. "And if you fit the disc with laser beams, it can go directly to the source of the fire." Honey hugged Hiro. "I think I know the missing chemical too. Baymax, may I have that glass of milk?" She poured the milk into a test tube. "Enzymes." Using his friend's suggestions, Hiro built a new device. He couldn't wait to try it out. "Ready?" Hiro said, placing the device in the testing chamber. Hiro tapped his keyboard, and a pile of papers in one corner of the chamber began to smoke. He hit his keyboard again, and another fire lit in the opposite corner. This was the moment of truth. Could Hiro's device handle both fires? Hiro's device flew through the air. Using its lasers to find the source of the first fire, it sprayed a white liquid over it. Then it raced to put out the other fire. Within seconds, the embers died and the smoke cleared. The device had done its job perfectly. It was like there had never even been any flames. "Yes," Gogo shouted, pumping her fist in the air. Honey jumped up and down excitedly. Wasabi and Fred high-fived each other. Hiro grinned. "Baymax, milk for everyone." He raised his glass in a toast. "To the best friends a guy could ask for." He turned to Baymax. "Especially you," he whispered. As the sun began to rise, Hiro yawned. He said goodnight to his friends, and then, with Baymax at his side, he trudged home. Exhausted, Hiro fell into bed. "Hey buddy, might be a good time for you to recharge too," he told Baymax. Satisfied, Baymax stepped into his case to recharge. He had done his job. So that ends tonight's story. I hope that you all have a great day, and I will see you back here tomorrow with another Disney-themed ASMR video. Good night, everyone.